If you're a man who's ambitious but stuck in life, who wants more for themselves but just can't seem to get over that plateau, right? This video is for you because I'm going to break down exactly how I use the sanctify system and the relentless mindset to overcome all the obstacles in my life. How I went from being weak, lazy, undisciplined to being a man who walks in power, who walks in confidence, who walks with the strength of Christ, right? And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how I did it and how you can also do it too. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys how I went from being weak, lazy, undisciplined to a man walking with confidence, purpose, and power. So clearly, we take a look here. 2024, this is last year. I'm chubby, I'm fat, I'm depressed, have no purpose. I don't even know who Christ is. Right? I just got out of surgery, and I was just down, bro. I was down on myself. Had bad habits, had bad discipline. Right? And this is the man that I built right here. Right? I turned to Christ. I got stricter on my meal plans. I got stricter on my diets. I got stricter in the gym. I got stricter in my faith with Christ. Right? And I was able to build this man from this one right here. All right? And I'm going to show you guys exactly the road that it took to actually get here, because it was through a lot of pain, through a lot of suffering, through a lot of hardship that I was actually able to get to this point, right? It didn't come easily, but it came through this, right? I hit rock bottom right here. I was lazy and led by my emotions, right? I ate like garbage, skipping the gym, had no structure, no discipline, and I was in a toxic relationship. So let me explain a little more, right? As you can see right here, I'm so lazy, led by my emotions, right? I didn't really care about my life, right? I'm out here eating crumble cookies all the time. Look at me, I'm over here fishing and smoking a cigar like everything's okay, but it wasn't. Right, I was eating like garbage and I was skipping the gym because of it. Right, I couldn't even find a good diet, a good meal plan to hop on, because all I was doing was eating desserts, eating pizzas, eating whatever it was, pancakes, all these horrible foods that weren't feeding me the correct way. So when it would come time to go to the gym, I'm saying, nah, I'm just gonna stay home and chill out, because obviously you're not gonna feel like it when you're feeding yourself garbage. I had no structure and no discipline, and look, this is what it led to right here. Looking like that, looking like this. And at the end of the day, I didn't want to be here. I was depressed, right? I was in a horrible relationship that just enabled everything that I was doing, right? It enabled my comfort, enabled my undiscipline, it enabled everything that I didn't want in life, because I structured my whole life around her and not around my own plans, right? I was living for comfort, for pleasure, for my urges, for my temptations, and not living how God intended me to live, right? I was made for more, but I was living like I was made for less. Look at me, bro. I was not living how I wanted to live. Right? And it took this right here. It took me getting to this point right here, being depressed, being lazy, being heartbroken, being comfortable, right? It took all that to being fed up, bro. I was fed up being average, right? And what sparked that was my girl cheating on me, right? I felt empty, lost, and wanted purpose, bro. Right? I had no relationship with Christ, right? This is my breaking point. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to be on this earth. I didn't even want to be alive, bro. I just wanted to lay in my bed all day, be depressed, be lazy, be heartbroken, be comfortable. I didn't care about my goals. I didn't care about what I wanted. And this is my breaking point, right? I was done being average. I was done being depressed. I was done being lazy. I was done being heartbroken. I was done being comfortable, right? I was heartbroken, bro. My girl cheated on me. I felt empty and lost. I didn't know what to do with my life. I had no relationship with Christ. I had no one to talk to. I was lonely, depressed, at the bottom of the bottom, bro. And this was the breaking point. This is where I had a make or break decision. I'm either gonna turn to Christ, turn to the life that I wanna live, stop being average, or I'm gonna continue living in comfort, living the way I wanna live, and not the way God intended me to live. And that's why I had to build the foundation, right? I turned to Christ fully, fully, and look at what He helped me do. He helped me build this man right here. Right? I went even harder in the gym because I turned to Christ. He comforted me when I needed Him. He was there for me when I needed Him. He strengthened me when I was weak. He picked me up when I was broken. And it's the best decision I've ever made in my life. Right? It helped me go even harder in the gym. Right? I started building that foundation off of Jesus. Right? It went from Jesus to the gym, to my habits. Right? I let go of all the bad habits. I stopped eating the junk. I stopped waking up late, going to sleep. I started waking up at 10 in the morning, going to sleep at 2 a.m. I stopped putting all my time and effort into women. I stopped caring about TikTok, Instagram, girls on Snapchat. I stopped caring about all that and understood that my life was made for more. So I started creating good habits, waking up early, hitting the gym early, right? Working, getting in my Bible more, getting in my scripture more, getting in prayer more, right? Showing up every single day, regardless of how I felt, right? That's discipline in itself because I was tired, I was sore, I was weak, bro, I was broken. But I got up anyways and did what I had to do. Not for me, but for Christ's glory and his honor only. Because when you realize that your life was made for more, right? God called you to be more. Christ came to you to be more, right? You understand that your purpose is bigger. So every day I wake up with a purpose, with a plan to attain the life God has for me. And that's exactly why I built the Sanctify system. What is the Sanctify system? Right? I know exactly how it feels to be ambitious, hungry, and wanting more in life, but not knowing how to actually take action. Right? You wait around every single day until you feel motivated, and then after 2 days, maybe 3 days, right, you get right back to being lazy because I know that because I've been there, bro. I've been there. And you feel stuck in your life and in the gym and you just want to be a better man but don't know how to become that better man. So I built you a proven system that involves discipline and consistency so that you aren't moping around every single day waiting for motivation, but living every day with purpose and a plan to tap into your God-given potential that he has given you. You just haven't tapped into it yet, right? And this is where you're going to tap into it, right? I made the system for you. Right? This is for guys who are lost in life and trying to find purpose, right? You know you were made for more, but right now you just feel a little stuck, right? You're stuck in the same cycles, whether it's sin, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in your diet, right? Physically, mentally, or spiritually. You just want direction. You want clarity. You want to feel like your life is aligned with God's calling, not drifting through the same empty days. I've been there and I know how it feels, bro. It's tiring, right? And if this is you, right? This program was made for you. And you just need someone to hold you accountable, right? You've tried doing it alone. You've tried waiting till Monday. You tried waiting till next week, but you just never kept those promises, right? You just ended up just living the same comfortable life you were always living, right? What you need now is just someone who won't let you fall back into your comfort, who's going to push you past your limits and check you when you need to be checked, right? Because I'm all about the truth. You grow from the truth. Not the comfortable things, but the truth, right? This is for guys who are coachable and willing to actually put in the work, right? This isn't for quitters. This isn't for guys looking for little shortcuts, little, like, the quick ways, the overnight ways. No, this is not for you, right? This is for men who are willing to be taught, corrected, and guided. Men who are serious about discipline, growth, and transformation. If you are serious about growing, about being more disciplined, about transforming your life, right? And you want to show up with humility, this is for you. This program is for you, right? And if you're just stuck and have no game plan, right, you just want to build muscle. You want to get deeper in your faith. You want to level up every single area of your life, but you don't even know where to start, right? I made the blueprint for you, whether it's training, nutrition, mindset, spiritual foundation, right? You got no more guessing, no more wandering, no more wondering, when you're going to figure out the game plan. I got it for you. It's in this right here, and this is for you. So this isn't for guys who are just looking for shortcuts, who are looking for overnight results, a quick miracle transformation, right? That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for long-term success. I'm here for discipline, consistency, and long-term change, not just cheap tricks, right? The best things take the most time, right? The worst things happen overnight. The worst things happen in 2 days, right? That's why people take Ozempic nowadays, because they want a quick fix. They're not willing to go and put in the work, right? I'm about the work. Because you build that man you want to be through the work, not through little quick tricks like Ozempic. This isn't for men who refuse to be held accountable, right? If you get defensive when someone tries to check you, if you hate being challenged, if you make excuses instead of progress, then this program won't work for you, right? Because accountability is the backbone of Sanctify. That's all I do. I hold you accountable and tell you the truth. And if you don't like that, then this isn't for you, because I want to see you be better. I know you have a God-given potential. And if you don't want to reach it as much as I want you to reach it, then this isn't for you, right? This program isn't for men who aren't willing to be coached, right? If you think you already know everything, if you think you can't take correction, if you're not willing to adapt, learn, or trust the process, then this isn't for you, right? Growth requires humility. You're never going to get anywhere by thinking you know everything, right? I've seen dudes, it's been all around my life, right? I've seen people all around me think they know everything, think they're the best at everything, and they end up being the worst, right? And that's just how it is. You never grow, you stay stagnant, and you're just going to stay that way the rest of your life. So if that's you, then this program isn't for you, right? I want to see you grow, not stay the same, right? This isn't for men who make more excuses than they take action, right? If you blame your schedule, your past emotions, your circumstances, you victimize yourself all the time, this isn't for you, right? I'm here for men who are willing to change, who take ownership, who face the truth, not for men who stay in victim mode and think the world's against them, right? This isn't for men who aren't serious about transforming their life, right? If you're here for hype instead of discipline, if you want a yes man instead of discipline, then this isn't for you. I'm going to tell you the truth, bro. Right? If you want to feel better but don't want to be better, this isn't for you. I want you to be better, not just feel better. I want you to be better. So if you're not willing to be better, then this isn't for you, bro. And that brings me here, right? This is the mindset that I've built out. It's called the Relentless mindset. And if you're in the sanctify system, this is the same mindset that you will attain, because this is the same mindset that I use every single day. And when I talk about becoming relentless, I'm not referring to just quick motivation, quick hype. I'm talking about a lifestyle, right? This is how I wake up every single day and move with conviction. I move with intention. Everything I do is intentional, right? From the way I wake up, the things that I do, right? My routines, the gym, everything I do, because the man who lives without intention becomes a slave to his emotions, to his feelings. And how do I know that? Because I've been in that position. I've experienced it myself. Right? And the relentless mindset is just something I live by every single day. It's the willpower to get up every day and keep moving forward regardless of your circumstance or situation. Listen, when you stumble, when you fall, you have two choices. You give up because you failed once and stayed in the same exact place you're at for the rest of your life. Or you could get your butt up and keep trying harder and harder every single day until you tap into your God-given potential. And that's exactly why I created the Relentless mindset, because throughout my life, I learned not to let one failure dictate how the rest of my life went. Right? I refuse to give up no matter how many times I fail. No matter how many times I lose, I will win, because I am strengthened by Christ who has already won my battles. I just got to get up and take action. And the Relentless mindset is a lifestyle, and I'm going to show you what it consists of and how it has changed my life. In my fitness, right? I stopped viewing the gym as just a place to please others, but a place where I can push past my personal limits, because I'm strengthened by Christ who strengthens me. I don't have limits. I'm limitless. With Christ, I could push past anything, right? And I was able to be consistent every single day because I lifted with a purpose, not just pride, not just for attention, but with a purpose, right? No matter how many days I went and didn't see the body I wanted, I kept going because I knew that one day I would see this body in the mirror. I knew one day I would turn into this man right here, even though I wasn't seeing it at first, because I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to God, and I kept pushing forward even when things weren't going my way, even when, everything felt like it was against me. I wasn't making progress. I wasn't seeing results. I kept going because I trust the process and I trust God, right? And over a matter of 3 months of straight consistency and discipline, I started to build the body I always dreamed of. 3 months, bro. That's all it took. 3 months of a relentless mindset. Are you willing? The relentless recovery, right? When you're living the relentless lifestyle, you have to be getting in the correct amount of macros every single day. You got to make sure you're eating correctly, bro. Because if you want to get up every single day and have maximum effort and energy, you have to fuel your body correctly, because our body is a temple that God has given us. And if you're feeding it junk, you're only going to get junk results, right? God doesn't reward your comfort. He rewards your discipline, right? Your body is a machine. You're either going to feed it fuel or you're going to feed it poison. And when you feed it poison, that machine's going to break down. It's going to tear down. Right? And it's all on you, bro, because you're not feeding your body correctly, right? You need to start fueling for purpose and not for pleasure, right? It wasn't until I learned that I started building this body right here, right? I stayed the same man when I was eating junk food, when I was eating crumble cookies, when I was eating ice cream, when I was eating all of these horrible foods. I wasn't seeing any progress because I wasn't fueling myself for the purpose I was called for, right? And this helped me also in my life, right? I became a disciplined man. You can't be relentless if you don't have structure, order, and intention, right? This is the keys to life: structure, order, and intention, right? You don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the strength of your system. You could have how many goals you want in life, but if your system in place isn't going to help you get there, isn't in order, it isn't intentional, it isn't in structure, you're never going to get there. You're going to wake up every day with no plan, with no idea what to do. You're going to wake up at 10 a.m. every morning, Go eat whatever you want. You're not going to have any morning routine. You're never going to talk to Christ. You don't have any game plan set for the day. You're just going into every day naked. That's exactly what it is. You got no idea what you're doing. So don't expect to hit that goal because you don't have the system in place, right? And I have built out the perfect blueprint to become a man who walks in purpose and not in pleasure, right? Who walks in confidence and not with anxiety. Who can say no to temporary satisfaction for long-term success, because that's what I do here. Right? I will show you exactly how to structure your life so you can find out exactly what God called you to do. Right? This helped me discipline my faith because I was always a man who was struggling in my faith, right? I was turning to sin. I was turning to my sexual desires. I was turning to my sensual desires, doing things I didn't want to do, right? I did these things because it was sensual to me and I wanted to do it. But it took me to realize that it's not what I want to do, but what I have to do. And using the relentless mindset, I was able to deepen my faith with Christ and become the man of God I always aspired to be. Right? It wasn't by showing up to my Bible once a day and praying before bed, but it was by relentlessly chasing after the Lord. No matter how many times I fell short of his glory, I never gave up. I came to this Bible 5 million times a day if need be. I prayed 5 million times if need be. I didn't just become a man of God by praying 15 minutes before bed, but by being relentless, by chasing after him even when I didn't feel like it, right? I showed up to my Bible and to God day in and day out, pushing past the mental limits that were in my mind. The same way I push myself in the gym, and you see how they correlate hand in hand, right? I'm disciplined in the gym, I'm disciplined in my faith. I'm disciplined in my diet, I'm disciplined in my faith. I'm disciplined in my life, I'm disciplined in my faith. Everywhere you need discipline, right? When you're disciplined in anything, you're disciplined in everything. Right? And it started to be less about sinning and more about chasing after the Lord, learning his word and allowing it to lead me every single day. This relentless mindset blueprint is exactly how I built the man I wanted to be. And it's going to help you build the man that you also want to be. All right, and now we're going to get into building the foundation of becoming that relentless man, of becoming a sanctified man. First foundation we get into is mastering your mindset, right? I'm going to help you master your mindset. And because most men lose right here, because they say this one phrase, I can't, right? But a sanctified man rejects that lie. It's a lie. The devil is a liar because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Philippians 4:13. This isn't motivation. It's just the truth, right? God already equipped you with strength, discipline, and purpose. Your mindset is just lagging. And sanctify, I'm going to show you exactly how you can break past mental patterns that are keeping you stuck in your losing mindset. I'm going to show you how to train your mind the same way you train your body. I'm going to help you move forward even when you don't feel like it. I'm going to help you move with purpose and not emotion. I'm going to help you trust in God's plan even when you can't see it. Walking by faith and not by sight. It's hard, but you can do it too. I'm going to help you discipline your flesh, right? Most men are stuck in life not because they're bad people, but because they can't get past their flesh. They can't get past their urges, their impulses, their emotions, their comfort. And that's exactly why they're stuck, right? They choose what feels good over what builds them. They choose pleasure instead of purpose. And every time they do, they drift further from the man God called them to be. But a sanctified man lives different. He understands that flesh is loud, but the spirit is stronger. Right? Weak flesh is normal, but surrendering to is optional. It's totally on you, right? God calls you to discipline your body, your desires, and your habits so your spirit can lead your life and not your temptation. Stop being led by your emotions and start being led by your spirit, because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? And in Sanctify, I'm going to show you exactly how you can break habits and addictions that are keeping you spiritually and physically weak. I'm going to help you develop the discipline to say no to your flesh and yes to your calling. So when your flesh is telling you to get in bed, when your spirit is telling you to go to the gym, I'm going to help you say yes to the gym and no to your flesh. Right? I'm going to help you build routines that strengthen your spirit through consistency. I'm going to help you train your body as an act of obedience and not just emotion, not just for attention, not just for your feelings, but for obedience to Christ. And I'm going to help you build the resilience to endure discomfort without folding, right? You're going to be able to be so resilient that you could walk through that refining fire, that you could walk through any discomfort and continue to keep walking, right? You're going to pull up to the gym even when you're sore. You're going to go to the gym even when you're tired, because that's who you are, right? That's who you're going to become. And I'm going to help you build a customized workout plan. We'll build it together, right? I know how hard it is to walk into a gym and want to get bigger and stronger, but have no idea what you're doing, right? And that's why I build you a customized workout plan based on your desired goal. I will help you become both bigger and stronger while perfecting your form and showing you the proper way to build strength and muscle. I'm going to track every workout on an app so that we can go over progress every week to see if anything needs to be adjusted or added. So if you want to add anything, adjust anything, you just tell me and we're going to do it together. So instead of going into the gym sloppy with no structure, with no plan, you're going to be organized and have a structured workout plan so that your workouts and splits aren't thrown together in 5 minutes and all over the place. Right? That's what I'm going to help you do. Right? You're going to have structure. You're going to have discipline in every single area of your life. I'm going to build you a customized meal plan. Right? Personally, I know how it feels to walk into the kitchen and be like, yo, what am I doing? Like, what am I going to cook? Like, what am I going to eat? I don't even know what to eat. Right? And the truth is, that's how many men are today, right? We either just don't have time to cook or don't know what to cook or don't even know how to cook. And that's why in this program, I'm going to build you out a customized meal plan, and I will provide meals that are proven to build muscle and strength, tailored to the foods that you actually enjoy eating. So if you enjoy something to eat, and it aligns with the meal plan, I'm going to throw it in there for you, bro, of course. And I'm going to measure out how many calories and grams of protein, carbs, and fat you should be eating per day, which must be tracked every single day in the app provided, right? So we're going to have no more sloppy and unorganized eating. You will learn how to become disciplined in every way possible. Like I said, eating, habits, the gym, whatever it is, you're going to be disciplined, all right? And then you also have accountability and access, right? The hardest part about becoming, that man that you want to be is holding yourself accountable, because I've been there and I know how it feels to, not hold myself accountable, not be honest with myself. And in Sanctify, I'm huge on accountability, because I will always tell you nothing but the truth, because that's exactly what I wish someone did to me when I was stuck in life. And I want to see you become the best version of yourself possible. So I'm not going to be afraid to tell you the truth, right? I'm going to help you push past your limits and excuses, because that's just who I am and what I do. And in Sanctify, I'm huge on accountability, and I will always tell you nothing but the truth, because I wish someone would have done that for me. And I want to see you become the best version of yourself possible. So I'm not going to be afraid to tell you the truth and push you past your limits and excuses, right? I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad, but I'm here to hold you accountable and tell you the truth, right? I'm not a hype man, I'm not a yes man. I'm here to see you grow, and that's how you grow, by getting told the truth. Having that coach in your corner, guiding you and leading you along the way, is how you win the war, right? Having someone to guide you when you're lost and be by your side when you fall. And that's what I do. That's how I help you. And in Sanctify, you're going to have 24/7 access to text me, call me, FaceTime me, whatever you need when you're struggling or need guidance or just need somebody to talk to, right? You're going to have an accountability app, weekly check-in calls, and a brother in Christ who will always push you to be better. And that's why I say, I'm not here to just be a coach, but I'm here to be your brother in Christ, right? I'm literally your brother in Christ. So I'm going to help you and push you past your limits, right? Iron sharpens iron. I'm going to be that iron you need to sharpen your iron, right? So I'm going to help you and guide you in whatever way possible I can. If you're serious about your life and really want to change, really want to become that man that you want to be, hit that link in the description. Just book a call with me, and I'm going to help you, and we're going to figure it out together. Not just you on your own, but me and you together, right? We're going to become brothers in Christ who strengthen each other every single day. And I'm going to help you build that man that you always wanted to be. I'm going to help you walk in discipline, walk in consistency, and be relentless every single day. Hit that link in the description, and we're going to get to it.